The fallout from a damning review into the culture within Cycling New Zealand's high-performance environment has claimed another casualty. It has been announced today that former leading Kiwi triathlete Hamish Carter, who won Olympic gold at the Athens Games in 2004, has resigned from his position at High Performance Sport New Zealand. Now, Carter has been confirmed as the HPSNZ employee who leaked confidential documents to former national track sprint coach Anthony Peden, who was a central figure in the review released last week. Now, the review found a culture of bullying, poor behaviour, a lack of accountability and an inappropriate coach-athlete relationship. Now, we have tried unsuccessfully to reach Hamish Carter this afternoon, but sports reporter Clay Wilson joins me now to discuss his resignation. Clay, were you surprised? Does this news come as a shock?
Well, Hamish Carter is a very revered athlete in New Zealand. He's very well known for that gold medal he won at Athens in 2004. New Zealand finished second in that race as well, so it's very well remembered. So I have to say I was surprised to hear that Hamish Carter was the man, the person that had leaked these documents to Anthony Peden. But I guess as a result of what he's done, he's now fallen on his sword. So, yeah, it was definitely a surprise to hear that he was the person.
So what else do we know about the situation and how it played out? You say he fell on his sword. Is it his choice to go, or do we think he's kind of pushed out the door?
Well, High Performance Sport have been clear in their statement today, saying that this was totally Carter's decision. There was no agreement or settlement reached. So this harks back to perhaps the football review we saw earlier this year, the incidents with the football ferns, because CEO Andy Martin and Football Ferns coach Andreas Haraf both reportedly received big payouts as they went out the door. So High Performance Sport going out of their way to say this was his decision, we didn't push him out the door.
And that he didn't get anything, no money.
No money at all.
No money on the way out. So what's Hamish Carter saying?
Well, Hamish Carter's released a statement as part of the high performance statement. He's basically apologised to the staff, to the athletes. He said he accepts full responsibility. The interesting part is he says this was a genuine mistake. Now, what exactly that means, I guess, is for everybody's interpretation. Whether he genuinely accidentally sent it to Peden, or that it was just the wrong thing to do. He decided to do it.
We don't know anything about those circumstances, about how the information was transmitted. You know, as you say, was it a false push on the email, or was it handed over in a meeting, or what?
Yeah, no, we don't. I mean, there's no indications that it was accidental, a slip of a button in an email or something of that nature. But yeah, I guess Carter, Carter's he is the man, and he has to really go. So that's what's happened.
And he has said what? He's not going to talk to us about it or anybody else, and why?
No, he's basically gone to ground. So
Yeah.
so we don't know. We don't know why. I guess he probably wants to hide away for a while. He has said he wants to come back into sport at some point, and that he's very disappointed to be leaving a role in sport. But I guess this is a pretty damning thing to be involved in, especially considering what was substantiated by the review. And to leak confidential documents like that, the athletes and staff have given in confidence to someone like Peden, who, of course, we know it was revealed about him in the review and what he was up to during his time. So, not a great look for Hamish Carter. We'll see if he comes back.
Yeah, interesting that he notes in his statement, he says he's not going to be making any further comments because, in essence, he says he's concerned about the athletes who are working towards the Tokyo Games, doesn't want to take the focus away from them.
I think it's just a way of him, explaining why he's not commenting, but I think probably just doesn't want to comment because of the nature of what's happened.
Yeah, how controversial it is. Hey, let's change tack. Let's talk about the All Black squad that has been announced for the test against Australia. Any surprises in the team selection? Yeah,
a couple of surprises actually, both in the backs. Damien McKenzie has been named to start at fullback, and that's interesting because Geordie Barrett has got that slot in the past when Ben Smith's moved to the wing. So Ben Smith again moved to the wing. Waisaki Naholo comes out. Damien McKenzie comes in, and he's mostly come off the bench. So a big chance for him to really stake a claim as a starter in the All Blacks. We also see TJ Perenara starting at halfback. So Aaron Smith, obviously the incumbent number 9, but he comes out onto the bench. TJ Perenara has been in really good form, so he gets a reward for that form and gets a start.
Is this kind of, you can afford to have a bit of experimentation because you've got the Bledisloe Cup in your back pocket, so you can have a crack at some other combinations?
I think there's a little bit of that, especially with this halfback selection, giving Perenara a rare start and saying to Aaron Smith as well, your spot as the number 1 halfback in this team is not necessarily locked in, so just to give him perhaps a little bit of a warning that he needs to keep his standards high.
And the fact that they do have the Bledisloe Cup secured, I mean, does that have any effect on their motivation when they go into this game?
Well, I guess you can't help but think it's got to have some effect because they're not playing for the Bledisloe Cup, which they, of course, they hold very dear. But, I mean, this is the first test of their end-of-year tour, and they'll want to start well. I mean, it wouldn't be a great start to a big end-of-year tour where they're going to have a big game against England in a couple of weeks to lose to Australia, an Australian team that didn't have a great rugby championship, to be fair. So to lose to them, and just the standards of this All Blacks team in general. I mean, they don't like to lose. They know that no one in this country likes to
lose. Yeah.
No one likes to see them lose. So I don't imagine they'll be too much lacking in motivation.
Thanks for that. That is Clay Wilson there with all the latest. Hamish Carter, you would have heard there, has resigned from his position at High Performance Sport New Zealand. That is after he was outed as the person who leaked confidential information to the former national track sprint coach, Anthony Peden.